How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Pugilism, prize fighting, the sweet science. Whatever you call it, you don't want to miss the huge night of fights coming up headlined by Crawford versus Madrimov. Get in on all the action now with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a fighter to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your fighter, and place your first bet. It's that simple. Download the app and don't miss any of the action. If you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. That's promo code IHEART for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Ohio only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/MMA.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Welcome back. Yeah. It's a fucking sweaty summer for most of the nation.
Here we come to the dog days.
These... We do this every fucking year.
Yes.
The dog days gets mentioned, and then I go...
August. That's all you got for August.
It's also the fact that I forget every year what dog days stand for, and I look it up and I go, oh, okay, yeah. It's more of a feeling. It's that you're just dog tired.
Yeah, all the time. No, for me, I work outside, and it's just the sun just saps your strength. Like, I just feel like I constantly need a nap.
Yeah.
And it's always hot. No matter how much water you drink.
You gotta stay hydrated. What do you use to stay hydrated outside?
Water.
Just water? You don't
water.
Add some stuff to it, like a Liquid IV, not a sponsor.
No.
Or
Liquid IVs for when I know I've been tying one on. Liquid IVs for before I go to bed and for the next morning.
Yeah, it's good for workouts too. It's good for you're getting a source of electrolytes, or I don't know. Who knows what they're putting in any of this shit now? But we're drinking Celsius, also not a sponsor.
Yeah,
which is satisfying my weird craving for like Monster energy type drinks. Sometimes a reliance for caffeine, but also I kind of dig the chalky taste to it. And this has some of that. I don't even know.
You dig the chemical aftertaste? I did prefer Monster's chemical aftertaste to Red Bull's chemical aftertaste.
Yeah, I always did. I don't know what it is.
Red Bull is more medicine-y.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
I don't know who drinks. I don't even know why they still make Rockstar.
You know I'd associate it with chalkiness. It's the taste of those, like, you'd get, I'm trying to think of what the Willy Wonka equivalent candy would be, but it was a very chalky, like, lollipop that you could bite into, and it was kind of dry and crumbly. It wasn't like a lick'em kind of. It's like a sweet tart.
What's that? Isn't it all like a giant sweet tart?
Yeah, it has that texture of that, like, dry, crumbly sugar.
Well, now, since you said that, that's what this tastes like. This tastes like a
it tastes like somebody melted a sweet tart in it, right? Which, have you ever done that? I used to do that.
No, you can do that?
Well, yeah, if you're drinking anything, really, but, like, usually I'd get a soda, and then if I had some sweet tarts, I'd throw a couple in there, and they'd fizz a little bit, and it was like you're like, I'm like daddy. I'm getting home from work. And, but it'd also alter the flavor a little bit, A
week's worth of sugar content in one drink.
Yeah. Yeah, that was after I had 2 bowls of Cocoa Pops or whatever. Yeah. I got cereal the other day. I had one of my daughters stay the night And I said, what do you want for breakfast? And she's like, I usually just have cereal. I'm like, all right. So I went out and got some milk and some cereal. So I'm not even like a big milk drinker anymore. And I've tried to not keep a lot of sugar in the house because I will just devour it. And just one single, like regular sized box of Cinnamon Life cereal, I have no idea the sugar content. But that thing between the two of us was gone within hours. Like,
Cinnamon Life underrated.
It's so fucking good. But I also consumed a lot of milk, something that I've not done a lot, and I regretted that the whole next day. So yeah, I could not keep cereal in the house.
Oh, that was one of my go-tos back in the day.
Yeah.
Be at my parents' house, come home all baked, and just smash a whole box of cereal.
Yeah, you get the Cinnamon Life, and you just make sure that you just give it like not even a full minute to sit in the milk, but enough to get a little bit of the coarse texture, round out the corners of the Cinnamon Life. That can. I mean,
everybody loves Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right?
Yeah.
But underrated too. Honey Smacks, Corn Pops.
Now, Honey Smacks is a weird one.
It's not. It is so
we're
good.
talking the frog, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
just honey coated puffed wheat.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that.
Just saying, like, let it get soggy.
I wouldn't say no.
Welcome.
I think that one is you want to get it a little bit soggier because you really want it to puff up. I don't like the texture, and I can never do it dry.
The end. Oh my God, the honey milk. Oh, everyone talks about the cinnamon milk. The honey milk is so good.
Yeah, not into it really. What I was going to say about Honey Smacks is it's not a cereal that you can just reach, like grab a handful and eat it dry either. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know.
I could
really.
Honey Smacks
it's the worst in that. Also, you feel like
Honey
a
Smacks,
chicken.
It's interchangeable with
like
Super Golden Crisp, right? Same cereal, different manufacturer.
Yeah, I guess so. Super Golden Crisp was seemed better, but I guess it was the same shit.
It was
right?
the bear that sang like Bing Crosby.
Yeah, it was. So the frog and the bear, right, were the mascot. Were there any other cereals that used that as a base though? Everything else was like oat based and.
We're talking about
what is life? I'm not trying to get existential in here.
The cereal.
But
it's like shredded wheat, retarded cousin.
Is it just wheat? It is just shredded wheat, right? I think it is. Like Frosted Mini Wheats is pretty fucking dope.
Yes, I agree.
I know this is like what people think a podcast called The Wheatsman would talk about all the time, but we don't do this all the time. We haven't. It might have been years actually since we visited the topic of cereal.
Multi-grain.
He said in
cereal.
his defense.
You know what it looks like? It looks like Chex.
Right.
It's a different version of Chex, I guess. Wasn't this the one Mikey liked it?
Life was, yeah. Look, he likes it because it looked like the healthy cereal.
What the fuck? They have Chocolate Life now. That would have changed my world.
Yeah, they got like Strawberry Life. I'm trying to think about. There's so many different flavors, but the cinnamon and regular are still the standbys that you can find just about everywhere. Although when I went to the cereal aisle of the grocery store, man, it looked different. It seemed like there was about maybe 10 cereals of different varieties included that were like represented on the shelf. There wasn't, and not a lot of them were like Fruit Loop. There was like a couple.
Where the hell do you shop?
It was like at Meijer. Oh. Yeah, it wasn't at like, Trader Joe's or some shit and it's all fucking brand. It was like, I mean, some of these are still like packed with sugar, like Cinnamon Life. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's no like Boo Berry and Count Chocula. I'm not saying like, I know
shit's still around.
That shit is still around, but like there wasn't even a lot of cereals like that. There's maybe like, like I said, Fruity Loops, and I think maybe one other that was like really sugary.
I mean, the stalwarts still got to be there. There's got to be cornflakes, Cheerios.
Yeah, it was mostly cornflakes
Trix.
And Cheerios. No Trix.
What?
Like I swear to God, I didn't see Trix up there.
Come on.
No.
Fuck out of here.
No. I didn't see Fruity Pebbles.
What?
No Cocoa Pebbles.
What bootleg Meijer do you go to?
This is the one. This is the one on fucking 8 Mile. 8 Mile in Woodward, man.
Oh, wow. If anywhere there would be Fruity Pebbles.
If anywhere
Yes.
there's going to be fruity fucking cereal, it's going to be that one. And I'm not trying to stereotype.
Maybe it was all gone. Maybe it's all been
These
bought
are
out.
facts that you can ask any person, black or
Maybe
white.
they were like, listen, if you want Fruity Pebbles, you got to get here by Monday afternoon, or you got to wait for the truck to come in.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even like the shelves were sparse or like, they were restocking. Yeah, I think they're just, I don't know if it's like gauche to now. Well, I mean, this is a good thing, right? Because this is the crack. This is the real gateway drug to food abuse, is your parents telling you just go hog wild on cereal, right? Not even that, like, you better eat your cereal in the morning because breakfast is so goddamn important. It's not even about what you eat. I don't care what you eat. The time that you eat it, that is the utmost important thing, right? It must be somewhere between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. that you must consume some food. I don't care if it's a whole fistful of sugar.
Yeah.
So you were given, I mean, basically, like, you could have strapped it on like a feed bag. Nobody told me slow down on the cereal, ever.
You know, the move I would do is you put in the milk, right, and then you eat the cereal, and I'd just keep topping off
Oh, yeah. That's the way to do
the
it.
bowl until finally there's, like, not enough milk to pour cereal into. You go through almost a whole fucking box that way with the right cereal.
Yeah.
God, I can't do that anymore.
No, I tell you, I did it, and I regret it. I just turned 49, so this is the last year of my 40s.
Oh, that's right. Your birthday was, like, last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And, yeah, so this is the last year of my 40s.
Wow.
Which have been quite a roller coaster, but I feel like I'm finishing out kind of strong. And there's not a lot of things that I can't do anymore, or that I'm even saying like I can't do anymore, you know, and because a lot of things that I used to do when I was much younger, I don't do it as often.
Oh, I know one thing you can't do anymore. We've discussed it.
Yeah.
Neither of us can do this anymore.
Sleep through the night without getting up to pee.
Yeah.
That's one of them. And eating cereal how I would prefer. It's not even that, like, eating cereal how cereal needs to be consumed, right?
Because, too, you got to get a big bowl and the big spoon, and you
Like,
get the
that is the
vitamin
thing.
D milk.
It's like the alcoholic, right? It's not about, like, this one time whether you can control it. There is no halfway with the alcohol, right? If I'm going to have this drink, I'm going to have all the drinks.
Oh, no, trust me. At my girlfriend's, there's a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and some Reese's Puffs, and I eye them bitches every weekend.
It's like the Paula Poundstone joke with the Pop-Tarts.
And I'm just like, nah. Because every now and then I want to just grab a handful of each of them. Like, nah, that's how it starts.
Do you remember the famous Paula Poundstone Pop-Tart joke?
No.
She would talk about a box of how one eats a whole box of Pop-Tarts, right? And she just breaks it down, the thinking, like, and I can't do her whole act, but it's like, you know, you open up one, you have two, and that's pretty good, but man, I could go for another, but then you just want the one, but you're not going to leave that other one just in the foil because now it's going to get stale, so you have the other pack. And now once you've eaten the pack, like 2 out of the pack of 3, 2 sets out of the pack of 3 sets, is like, you can't just leave the box there as evidence that you consumed 2 of these, so you eat the last 2 out of shame. And yeah, that's how I guess I did do the whole act.
See, my parents didn't buy them, but I used to always, my one buddy's house, I ate them all the time.
Yeah.
His mom would just buy the giant box, and we'd be there, they're all high.
Frosted or unfrosted?
Frosted cherry.
Yeah. Frosted anything berry.
You know, and the pastry Pop-Tarts, those were spotty, because they could be too much.
Although, yeah, no, like either
like the s'mores
standard
one,
frosted, or you go toaster strudel.
Like the s'mores one I could do, but like when you get into the vanilla or the chocolate ones, it's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much. You get halfway through it and you're like, oh, I got to finish this.
I think for a while there was, who does the toaster strudels anyways? So
Pillsbury.
Was it? Yeah. So Pillsbury was like eating the Pop-Tarts lunch for a while, on the toaster strudels. Those became quite popular. And I remember Pop-Tarts firing back with those pastries, but I wasn't having it. They tasted, you know what they tasted like is the fucking dollar store Pop-Tarts. They tasted like off-brand Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts, stay in your lane. Fruit.
And if you didn't hear the quotes there, it was implied. Fruit. Yeah, so this is the year of the high on Olympics, huh? Because we already talked about, not only was Snoop going to carry the torch.
Oh, I'm snooped out.
Remember I was trying to think, he was talking to somebody, some sports guy that he was going to be doing color. He was doing that for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing badminton the other day.
Snoop calling out badminton.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
What are these honkies doing?
I don't know why they're mad at this bird.
Yeah.
But they are letting it have it. Man, I hope Pete is not around. Yeah. Oh, and here's a picture of him, as I'm sure a lot of people have seen now, of him carrying the torch.
He looks pretty high.
But also, does the torch look like that for everyone? Because that looks like a doobie.
Right.
Right? It even looks like a doobie in
I think it's
like a cigarette holder.
Yeah, no, but I think that's the torch.
You think that's the torch?
In 2024, that's the torch.
Yeah. Man, I think they designed it because it doesn't even have like a hilt or something on it. Like it's so doobie shaped. But somebody has to have just so easily photoshopped a giant joint.
Yeah, at this point, well, look with how his fingers are held up too. That's easy.
Oh yeah, he could have he's got a peace sign in the other hand. Yeah, you just put a small, regular sized joint in one hand.
Yeah, you just put a joint in his hand.
And leave the torch, not even Photoshop the torch into a giant joint. And he's getting down on some tennis. He's got there's a picture of him with a little personal fan that he's got blowing in his face, but he's also got a Kangol on and like a windbreaker with the. Actually, I don't even think it's the hood of the windbreaker. He's got the windbreaker on backwards and over his head, so it's like a hood. I guess you just got to keep the sun off, yeah. But yeah, not only Trump. Did I just say Trump when I meant Snoop?
Yeah.
Not only Snoop at the Olympics, but they had a fucking DJ. They had Gojira play.
I saw that.
Which is crazy. I actually I forgot to watch any of the video, but they didn't do a Gojira song. They did a song. Was it a traditional song or was it something that was written for the Olympics?
I do not know. I just know they performed. I mean,
it's a French Revolution song. I don't know French. What's the little C with the little dingleberry hanging off of it? How do you pronounce that one? The C that looks like it's a sperm.
Well, it depends how's the word spelled.
C-A and then I-R-A. Exclamation mark. Saria, I guess.
It took 1 year of French. I think it's pretty cool they had a metal band in the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
Yeah, not only a metal band, but like one of my favorites. I'm a big Gojira fan.
That's how I know who they are, because of you.
Yeah, and it looks like they're performing in a castle or something. I don't know if that was just an elaborate set or if it's in Paris, right? They probably either have like castles or big cathedrals or something like that.
If they get Notre Dame fixed in time for the Olympics.
What's wrong with that?
Remember, half burned down.
That was 15 years ago, wasn't it?
No.
When did that happen?
While we've been doing this podcast.
Just now?
Yes, right now. It's on fire again. 2019.
They're like, stop podcasting. Every time you guys podcast, it catches on fire again. See, that time is meaningless. See what COVID did to time. It broke. Right. It didn't break time. It made us realize that time is just, time is all perception.
Yeah.
And if time is perception, then everything is perception.
April 2020 felt like 3 fucking months.
Yeah. Yeah, the DJ at the Olympics was controversial. Did you hear about that one?
Why? He play shitty music?
Yeah, I'm sure. But Barbara Butch is the name of the DJ, who is described in this article as an LGBTQ plus icon. Because this is actually about this Barbara Butch getting a lot of flack, I guess, for her performance, in which she was, or I don't know gender. Oh, yeah, no, it says her lawyer. Okay, yeah. she was portrayed, I guess, as Jesus in a very Last Supper type of arrangement. Mm-hmm. You know, choreography, I guess it would be. You know, typical DJ thing. This is what DJs do at underground parties all the time.
Yes.
You know, I was just the other week, I was at one where the artist that was while he was playing records would pose as famous Picasso paintings.
I do know one of the guys in the Last Supper thing had his nuts hanging out. Have you heard about that?
I don't. Is he sure it wasn't a front piece?
No, that's...
I heard that there was it wasn't really, he wasn't really naked. I think maybe he was just wearing some really, really tight tights.
Blue scrotum performer speaks out following backlash.
Does he admit to being balls out?
Oh, that is a scrotum.
Was it part of the costuming, or did it escape?
The guy is spoken out. I'm trying to. Oh, there it is again.
Rob Schneider says it was that the whole display disrespects Christianity and openly celebrates Satan. See, Rob, this is where you really lose me.
Yeah, I don't see any Satan in this. All right, nothing in here admits to him having his nuts out, but there are several stills where, yeah.
Was he just wearing too short of shorts?
He's not wearing any shorts. Tired of looking at this blue scrotum.
Why is it blue?
Because his whole body was blue.
He was painted blue?
Yes.
And they painted his balls as well?
I guess so.
That's kind of damning, isn't it? Right? Because if they escaped unintentionally, they would be flesh-colored.
Yes.
Right? But he was at one point like, no, make sure you hit the balls because I'm going to have them out.
Or it's France, right? You know, they're more liberal, right?
Or even just if he said, yeah, you know what, paint them. I don't know how I'm going to feel on the day. When the moment arises, I want the option. I would like the option to have my balls out. And all the other guys are like, hey, yeah, you know what, me too. Can I get my balls blue too? You know, as a backup plan. Maybe you're not feeling super confident in your performance.
Listen, you got to have a wow factor.
Yeah.
I'm going with painted testicles.
Yeah, I'm going to keep mine painted just in case. No, it's fine. They're blue. They're painted, dude.
People also search for Olympic balls hanging out. Olympic balls hanging out Reddit. Olympic balls hanging out Twitter. Olympic opening ceremony balls hanging out. This is on my computer.
I love this. That's the only kind of yearly wrap up that we need. Now, this whole adding words to the dictionary and giving the rundown of the top films and all this yearly wrap up that we like to do in media, it should just be top Google searches for the year. That really, that tells you everything.
That comes out the last week of every year for the last few years. That's been a thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it hasn't, but I'm saying that's all that we need. That tells us the entire story, I think.
We should have ours.
Yeah. Let's see if you can follow this one. Rolling Stone star Ronnie Wood's son marries Iron Maiden guitarist Steve Harris's daughter in London wedding.
Two guitarists, son and daughter got married.
Yeah.
Ronnie Wood's son and Steve whatever's daughter got married.
Yeah. So what? That makes them related?
Well, Ronnie Wood's son like 50? Isn't Ronnie Wood like 80?
I don't know. They look age appropriate, I would say. Whatever's going on there. He might be. Who could tell people's ages anymore?
Yeah, 30s.
So according to Hello, the couple tied the knot with just 30 guests in attendance, including Steve and Ronnie, 77, who was joined by his wife, Sally Humphreys Wood. So I guess they're just saying that Ronnie is 77? That's a weird way to put it. Are they both 77?
Right. Well, Ronnie's obviously the bigger star.
Yeah. Maybe earlier in the article, they actually gave his age. No, I don't see it.
You know, I hate to say it, but I heard Brown Sugar the other day, and through the lens of 2024, I'm like, I can see why they stopped singing it. When you listen to the lyrics.
Yeah. It's not great. I don't know, but like,
Still a kick-ass groove. Still a kick-ass riff.
Yeah, lyrics aren't ultimately important to me. I mean, great lyrics can definitely elevate a good song.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, songs that I do appreciate for their lyrics. But it's not the first thing that I go to. And if the lyrics aren't there, it's not going to stop me from appreciating anything. Actually, I've been listening to a lot of Pavement and Beck recently. And if you want to talk about, like, the lyrics don't really matter, they're the kings of that shit. Both of those, both Stephen Malcolmus, I should say, and Beck write great nonsense lyrics that just, flow the way they need to flow.
In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. What? There's nothing deep about that?
Right. But they write nonsense that sounds like it should mean something. That's what they're really good at. But I'm sorry, I went on too much of a tangent. What song were we talking about?
Brown
Oh,
Sugar.
we were talking about Rolling Stones. Yeah. They are the worst lyricists. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I've never thought that really cared about what the fucking Rolling Stones were singing about. They got some good songs, they got some bad songs. You put out enough albums, you're going to have a lot of nonsense out there, I guess. But yeah, they're just some of them are literally cliches. Like, that was actually a joke of my mom's that she would talk about. Oh yeah, have you heard the new Stones song, "A Stitch in Time Saves Nine"? Bird in the Hand.
Yeah, I mean, Under My Thumb sounds like an abusive relationship. You listen to the lyrics.
Under My Thumb is not. Yeah,
talk about that.
That's all.
That didn't hold up 30 years ago.
But that is a good song. That's one of my favorites. But they're from a time where lyrics didn't matter as much. Like when the Beatles and the Stones first started, the lyrics were just whatever context you could fit baby. And
it was about girls and cars.
Yeah.
Then they met, I was just telling my girlfriend this the other day, and then they met Dylan and discovered weed, and Dylan was like,
Right.
Hey man, everything doesn't have to be about girls and cars.
Right. The Beatles did, and the Stones never did. Like, the Stones really stayed in that rock and roll, yeah, type of thing, which is great. I'm not dissing it. But yeah, I guess it was the Beatles. Who was, I can't remember who I was listening to the other day. I was talking about the Tax Man. Well, I think it was Bill Maher. Yeah. He was, he was talking to.
Yeah. Has he had ideas? Has he interviewed all the celebrities already?
No, I mean,
why would you interview her? You're Bill Maher. Anybody would talk to you.
I think that's exactly why he would, because
By the way,
most people would say...
To give the listener context,
yeah, we need context.
Is the Hawktua girl.
Yes, Haley Welsh, who was... I mean, listen, I listened to the whole thing.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries.
I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. And live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Pugilism, prize fighting, the sweet science. Whatever you call it, you don't want to miss the huge night of fights coming up headlined by Crawford versus Madrimov. Get in on all the action now with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a fighter to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your fighter, and place your first bet. It's that simple. Download the app and don't miss any of the action. If you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code IHEART. That's promo code IHEART for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Ohio only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/MMA.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It was whatever. I mean, she wasn't interesting in any real way. She wasn't completely stupid, but she was also, she's a fucking whatever. Like, what is she, 21?
Yeah.
I think she is.
She's a college kid from down south.
Yeah.
I know what you think you're going to get.
Yeah, but I think it was when he was telling her about the beat, and he said that when they wrote The Tax Man, that was like the decided shift to be like, we're not going to talk about kid stuff anymore because we're just they didn't want to get pigeonholed as just a mop top girl screaming type of experience. But yeah, it was definitely more. Well, it's Dylan was doing it, and a lot of folk artists were doing it, but they weren't. That was a scene, but it wasn't nowhere successful as what was going on in Rock in America, British Invasion stuff like that. Was like, Bob Dylan was popular, but I don't think he was tearing up the charts. So if the Beatles didn't adopt that, maybe rock wouldn't have grown, because that was because everybody was playing catch up to the Beatles at the time.
I was telling my girlfriend, you cannot deny the influence of the Beatles. They influenced so many genres of rock.
Maybe what's his name? Beach Boys. Maybe Brian Wilson. Like, he was somebody who...
He was influencing them.
Yeah, and he was somebody who was pushing back against, like, I don't want to be, surfing and girls and cars.
Like Sgt. Pepper's was their answer to Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
'Cause they heard Pet Sounds and they went, whoa!
Right, and Pet Sounds is where, he's talking about different things. He's talking about being alone. He's talking about being in like long-term romantic relationships with people. He's talking about his deepest feelings. So, yeah.
Sloop John B, that song always bummed me out.
Sloop John B, yeah, what is that? Is that like
sounds like it's about a terrible vacation.
Yeah, it is.
But no, I found myself the other day, because on the weekends I got a little bit of driving time, and the other day I was listening to some Beach Boys. Like even their commercial shit. Like I Get Around, that's a great song.
Yeah. No, I
like listening and just thinking about like, wow, this is just like four guys. This is 4-part harmony, and they're all playing and they're all singing.
Yeah.
No one's doing that shit anymore.
No. Yeah, and until you get to like Pet Sounds, that's all like, that shit was all recorded one take to mono. There's no edits.
Yeah.
Actually, that's another thing that Pet Sounds did to push things forward, is how much time was spent in the studio on that album. And the idea, like, especially Good Vibrations, was edited from multiple sessions, not even in the same studio. He was recording versions of the song in different studios and then piecing it together. And you can, like, when you hear it in that context, you're like, oh yeah, like, because there's definite breaks to the song. Like, it shifts tempo.
And I noticed too, I feel like their drummer didn't get a lot of credit. Their drummer was doing a lot of interesting, non-traditional shit.
Yeah, I've never really listened to the drums that much, I guess.
Yeah, like just listen to Good Vibrations. Listen to what he's doing in there. Just it's like the whole song's like a giant fill.
Right. So on Good Vibrations, I don't believe that's one drummer doing any of those parts. Like, those are session musicians for different sessions. And going back to the Beatles, how did it start where did the idea start that Ringo Starr wasn't a good drummer?
Because he's not flashy.
Because he's kind of amazing.
He does what he's supposed to do.
Right? But it's not even that. It's not about competency. He's truly phenomenal, I think. But he doesn't really, he doesn't do.
He's not Neil
solos
or Peart. He's not Danny Carey. He's not fucking Chad Smith. He's going to give you what you need.
Yeah.
All he's going to do is just give you the backbeat.
But he's got a pocket that nobody else can reproduce, I
Yeah.
think. Some credit it to the backwards kit, sitting down at I think he's left-handed, and he had to take over for the Beatles losing a drummer, right? They kind of needed somebody right away because they had studio time already booked. And he sat down, and I'm pretty sure he's left-handed, and he sat down at a right-handed kit and just kept it that way. And so is kind of loping tom fills that don't just go, you know, they go,
No, I play drums the same way. I'm a lefty. I play on a standard right kit.
Right. But something about the way that he was playing it, you know, whether he was like...
And if you think about it, all you'd have to do is you just move the snare.
Yeah, I don't...
But no, the whole world's right. You just learn. Drum teachers just teach you It's just how it is.
I guess it doesn't make much sense because it's not like just because you are left-handed, you're going to put your toms in a different order. Because like a piano is still laid out from like...
Yeah, there's no left-handed piano.
Or actually, so drum kit's actually laid out opposite of a piano, though, isn't it?
How so?
Oh, wait. Because you got your floor tom over there. That's your lowest one, right?
Yeah. Floor tom's all the way to the right. Snares on the left.
Yeah, so when you're looking at your drum kit, you got your high notes to the left going down.
Oh, you got high notes. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
High. Yeah, no, piano's backwards then, yeah. But what you're saying, because it goes low to high.
Right,
Drums go high
right.
to low.
Yeah. Why is that?
Or low to high if you're right-handed.
Anyway, I saw the Deadpool Wolverine movie.
How is it?
Like many people did over the weekend. I believe record-breaking for an R-rated film. It was over like $200 million. Yeah. Oh, and then stacked on a Monday, another $21 million.
So who's Lady Deadpool? Was the mystery finally revealed?
No, it was kind of great. I like how they handled all the lead up to it. Like there's so many of these, they do so many trailers. You get to see a little bit more of the movie, and some of these movies, like they're giving away everything. This movie, they actually kept most of the shit on lockdown and gave you little teasers of stuff that really didn't matter. So that image of Lady Deadpool was circulating out there, and a lot of people were thinking maybe it was his wife or Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively, thank you. Or possibly Anya Taylor-Joy. But it was never revealed, and it didn't even matter. There was no... Because there was Lady Deadpool was one of like... Shit, I don't even know. It might have been more than 50 different variations that were introduced to. Because they're quadrupling down on the whole multiverse trend that's been in superhero films. You know, with the popularity of the Spider-Man film where you got the 3 Spider-Men all in one film. And so this is very multiversal. So we get to see lots of different versions of Wolverine and lots of different versions of Deadpool. But the real surprises was... seeing what's her name that played Elektra in the Daredevil movies? Jennifer Gardner. She was in this. Remember that she had her own movie too. That was a spinoff from it.
Those Daredevil movies.
Yeah. Her and Affleck.
Oh.
So she was in it. Wesley Snipes was in it, reprising his role as Blade. And Channing Tatum was in it as Gambit.
As guy with shirt off?
No, he kept his shirt on, and he was in a full like comics accurate Gambit outfit, which is really weird because it involves this thing like
X-Men Gambit?
Yeah.
The guy with the
he doesn't have a visor.
No, the goggles that shoot shit out of his eyes.
No, that's Cyclops. Gambit was the guy who threw cards. So he wore a trench coat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And he had this weird thing, like it wasn't even a collar. It was like a mask that didn't go over his face. It went up over his ears.
Yes.
And so that's what he looked like. And like it was like purple. It was like purple and pink. And it looked awesome actually. But he was I mean, the Channing Tatum Gambit film was in the works for years and just never came to fruition. But it was something that Channing Tatum, I guess he's really into the character. And it's kind of cool to see him pop up as that now, because Gambit's he was probably the most striking moment of the X-Men 97 series was Gambit's death and how they handled that. And that was a phenomenal series, and a lot of people watched that. So I think the Gambit fan club is bigger than ever. And they only show us like the one version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine at the previews, and that is the one that we're with through most of the film. But we're introduced to like at least like 4 or 5 other versions that are familiar to comic fans. Age of Apocalypse, Patch, what was the other one? I think it was from...
So I would get nothing out of this movie.
Yeah, the Mutant Massacre.
There'd be all these member berries that I'd be like, what's this? What?
No, see, this movie and what all the Deadpool movies have done really well, that stuff is just a cherry on top for people who know about it. You don't have to know any of that shit to appreciate this or even to follow the plot. And it's pretty traditional as far as the plot of Deadpool movies go. You know, it's got a little bit of heart to it, just enough to make you actually care about whether Wade Wilson succeeds or not, and you do. I think I think Ryan Reynolds, that is the strength of it. It's not how he quips or how he looks. It's the fact that he can play these parts, this part in particular, but he's done it pretty much successfully with all of his parts. Is he's able to give it enough heart so that you actually care about the guy. Because before Ted Lasso, what's his nuts that plays Ted Lasso? Sudeikis. I think the reason that he wanted and needed to do a part like that is because he became typecast as a guy who was really good at playing an asshole but had no actual heart. Nobody gave a shit about it. Ryan Reynolds is doing the same kind of like douchebaggery that Jason Sudeikis can do, but Sudeikis didn't do it with a wink. Like he played it too straight. He was too good at playing douchebags.
Right.
Like what Adam Scott almost got pegged as.
Yeah.
Until he got fucking Parks and Rec. And that turned his shit around.
Yeah, because the first few times watching him on Parks and Rec, all I could see was Derek.
Yep.
Dane Cook, pay-per-view, 20 minutes, let's go. That's all I could see is that guy.
So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that in the first place, but hats off to Ryan Reynolds I think he knocked this part out of the park again. Hugh Jackman is great, and he is like, Deadpool is always, he needs that kind of more stoic character to play off of. And every one of his films has ultimately kind of been a buddy film. It's him and Colossus, him and Cable, now him and Wolverine. This is just way more overt. But I think Hugh Jackman does it the best because Wolverine can just full on be the asshole, be the curmudgeon, be the guy that is never going to bend or even crack a smile. And the idea that, Hugh Jackman said he was done with Wolverine after the Logan movie, and that was kind of a period on the end of that character, too. That was the death of that character, and kind of said everything that at least Hugh Jackman felt he needed to say about that guy. And, a lot of fans felt the same way. There was actually quite a bit of blowback over the idea of Hugh Jackman coming back. Like, they're going to do it just for the money because they know that people are...
Well, Hollywood's burning down and Hugh Jackman needs a paycheck.
Yeah. And at the beginning of this movie, Deadpool, who is, that's his thing, is breaking down the fourth wall. He addresses the audience directly, Ferris Bueller style sometimes. And he says to us, believe me, I'm a fan of this stuff as much as any of you people are. And if you think that I'm going to just desecrate the work that Hugh Jackman and the makers of Logan or whatever, all the work that they've put into this character. I'm going to, shit all over that with my stupid movie. Well, you're absolutely fucking right, I am. And then they show a scene where he digs up the corpse that was buried at the end of Logan to try it because he needs a Wolverine, only to find out he is actually really just dead in a skeleton. And then he has to, of course, fight a bunch of people, so he uses the parts of Wolverine to stab people with. So it fucking works, man. And it's got a great soundtrack. They're all like, 80s and 90s songs that just seem out of place, but they are fucking perfect. They set the tone perfectly. Like a Prayer is used to great effect on it. And even that's a challenge because this is the third movie. And in between, like, I don't know how many years it's been since the first Deadpool movie, but I want to say it like almost 15 years maybe.
No.
I want to say that.
No. Maybe 10.
It's been over 10. 2016?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, I told you time is meaningless to me. But it seems like, so Deadpool, that first movie did that a lot. Like, I want to say, like, Careless Whisper was one of the songs I remember. But just taking these songs that don't belong in an action sequence and having that juxtaposition of, like, violence and, music that doesn't fit the scene. And it's not to say that somebody hasn't done this before. I can think of countless, and I probably don't even know the origin of like who did that first. But it certainly ramped up since after Deadpool. It seemed like every movie then had some violent scene. They're like, well, if we're going to do something violent, we got to get it, some cheesy fucking yacht rock.
Like
or
99
something.
Love Balloons.
Right. Yeah, just something that,
kicking ass.
Just some pretty song.
Wow, no wonder he got to make more. First Deadpool had an estimated budget of $58 million and earned a gross of $782.6 million.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how much? Let's see. Oh, so $135 million was in. That was just the promotion for this movie. You got to figure they put at least that and more into the production.
I mean, I've seen a ton of stories with those two. They've definitely been on the press junket together.
Yeah. So that's even accounting for the spend on ads. I think that they made their money back like right away.
Man, so Ryan Reynolds dude's a savvy businessman. Jesus Christ, dude just keeps getting richer.
And the reviews are mostly positive too. So, I mean, this is just kind of a home run for the idea, because keep in mind, this is the first Disney-produced Deadpool film. And there's direct reference to that in the film as well, because one of Blind Al asked him if he wants to do some cocaine while they're at his birthday party. And he says, no. He's like, put that away. That's the one thing that Feige said that we cannot do. And he's like, believe me, they should. They know all the code words for it. And she's like, so we ain't going skiing? She's like, no. But they don't hold back on like any of the rest of like the sex jokes, the violence. I mean, all the elements of Deadpool are there. Nobody's complaining that this is woke Deadpool, and because nobody could, because he's not.
Ryan Reynolds has the Deadpool franchises. He's got the gin. He's got the soccer team. He's got
him and Rob
McElhaney. He owns Mint Mobile. Like, dude's low.
McClackalackie.
Not bad for the guy who was in Van Wilder.
Yeah.
He's made us all forget about the Green Lantern.
He doesn't make us forget though. Like that, I know there's a reference to that in the second movie. I think there might even be a reference to it again in the third one. I can't remember. But he doesn't shy away from that shit. Oh, you know what? He was on, I heard an excerpt of him on, what's is it Turner Classic Movies or one of the classic like movie channels that has, what's the one that Mankiewicz hosts? Fuck. The fuck is it called?
Anything you're saying.
I know. I just sound like I'm having a stroke. Let me just look something up real quick. Yeah, it was on Turner Classic Movies. They have a 2-for-1 where they have somebody on, they pick out 2 movies, and then they'll in between the like during commercial breaks and that they'll talk about. There's a little interview segment that they break up where they talk about the movies and shit like that. I think one of Ryan Reynolds' picks was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and he said, I guess it's a movie that that's like his favorite comedy. And in just about every movie that he's made, he's worked in some reference to it. Where there's a book that appears in the movie that I guess is a book that John Candy was reading. I don't know if he was associated. And it's a book that has reference to Canada in the title of it or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but he keeps the license for that book to use it in media. Basically, like holds the rights to it so that he can have a copy of it in a shot somewhere in all of his films. Just have if there's going to be a bookshelf, like there's going to be a copy of that on the shelf. Yeah. And he says it's like every couple of years maybe it's every year. I don't know how often they have to renew this, but it's like the studio will come to me. He's like, hey, you still want to, hold the rights of this? And I give him $5,000. And then I just, whatever I'm working on, that, a copy of that book goes into a shot somewhere. And that's his little tribute to John Candy.
My 20-year-old nephew has no idea who John Candy is.
Yeah.
And I want to hold his parents' feet. I was like, you've never seen Uncle Buck? He's like, nope.
Weird.
I'm like, wow.
Like, there were 3 references kind of in a row, all today, to John Candy. It was weird because it started with somebody had shared on Instagram video of a short-lived, maybe only a pilot of a Uncle Buck television show.
Yeah. Now Kevin Meaney was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
That's
watching it as
say,
a kid.
Which wasn't John Candy.
It was so bad Kevin Meaney talked about it in a stand-up.
Talk about miscast. I mean, Kevin Meaney's funny. He's really funny, but are you kidding me?
Didn't he kill himself?
I think you're right. Yeah. So anyway, it was that. Then it was hearing Penn Jillette talk about Steve Martin talk about John Candy because Steve Martin talks about him in the documentary, which I still haven't watched. But he goes over. He's like, he has the script from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And he goes over a couple lines of a monologue that John Candy had for it. And he's like, I remember him saying these, and we went over and over this for him. And he was like giving different versions of it. And, he was remembering how blown away at like every single take that he was throwing something different out there. But every one of them was just like, this guy's fucking genius. And he's getting choked up reading it. And then at the end of that scene, he's like, yeah, they cut that from the movie. I don't know why. And then what was the one that I had mentioned earlier? So I don't know. I just thought it was weird that like John Candy, the Ryan Reynolds reference. How are we doing on time? That's what I'm wondering.
We're at like an hour.
Yeah, I think we can wrap up. So I don't, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's one I need to watch again. I think it's been at least like 5 or 6 years since I've seen it.
My nephew hadn't seen that. He hadn't seen The Great Outdoors.
It holds up. It really holds up.
I get your mom. I was like, but your dad. Next time I see him, be like, what? Your son is. You never showed your kid Uncle Buck?
Yeah. I can't think of a single John Candy movie that wouldn't hold up and continue to hold up. Right.
You never watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with your son at Thanksgiving?
It's not like. Like a movie like Animal House might be like a classic because it's something that we grew up like. Everybody watched that shit. Everybody knew lines from it. But you watch it today and you're like, okay, there's some funny parts, but not like even if you cut out like the weird misogyny part of it and are able to like separate art from artist or whatever, it still doesn't really hold up as a great movie. It's just a bunch of shit that happens. Here's a bunch of jokes that we put in a certain order. Like, what's the real plot here? That they're going to get, okay, like, whatever. Yeah. But it's like Revenge of the Nerds. Like, who cares what the plot is? But these aren't great movies. They don't hold up. Yeah, John Candy comedies, I can't think of a single one.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is like the Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't, he's seen Home Alone. He knows who John Candy is. He's seen Home Alone. He's in Home Alone?
He's the fucking
band leader of the
really?
polka band when she hitches the ride with the polka band. He's the Gus whatever.
I think,
and the Polka Kings.
I think that I actually haven't seen all of Home Alone.
What?
Yeah. I've never sat down and like credits roll, I'm going to watch this movie, watch the whole thing. Like, I think it's just always been on, and I've seen different parts of it at different times.
All right. It's John Candy. R.I.P. Did we lose John Candy and Chris Farley in the same... Were they in the same death triangle? Or just the same year?
I don't even know. You're asking the wrong dude, as I've proven over and over
Right.
on this podcast.
Well, anyway.
Time is meaningless, but this time is meaningful, and that we have to end it.
Yes. At the Weisman 420 on your social media. The big 3 platforms. ChristopherMedia.net, where you can go find the show. PayPal button if you want to help us out. And wherever you listen to us, I was reminded that we do have quite the audience. Went through all of our stat services. And yeah, Weisman audience.
People are hanging in out there.
Yeah. Rate and review us wherever you can. Let people know if you like the show. We've been back. Been back for a while. So you can rate and review us. Let people know, please. Thank you.
Yeah, help us grow.
And stay high.
Stay high.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.